Hey, I'm Dr. Zachary Cole. I'm a board-certified chiropractor and functional medicine practitioner, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing the dangers of a plant-based vegan or vegetarian diet. So look, if you are plant-based, don't click off this video just yet. We're going to be talking about the long-term dangers of staying on a plant-based diet only in the absence of animal fats and proteins in our diet and what that can do to our health. So look, plant-based diets are certainly in vogue right now, right? There's a lot of websites, Facebook groups, articles written about them. And I will agree, if a person's leaving the standard American diet and doing a plant-based diet, short term, they're going to probably feel a lot better because the standard American diet is so toxic that if you switch away from that into almost anything else, you're going to have less joint pain, sleep better, better hormone balance, and just feel an improvement overall. So, not arguing about plants in that manner, they're certainly good at detoxifying and cleansing the body. However, we're going to go over some examples today using my own health story as an example, some patients in my practice, and a dentist who changed the landscape of what we understand about nutrition in the 1930s. So stick around if you're plant-based. We're going to cover some important topics in this video. Starting with Dr. Weston A. Price. So Dr. Weston Price was a dentist who traveled the world in the 1930s. Over the course of about 7 summers, he went to some of the most remote locations on Earth and lived among some indigenous tribes in those areas who lived after the manner of the same way as their ancestors had for thousands of years. He recorded what they ate, how they lived, and he noticed that they had impeccable health, great bone structure, great teeth, no cavities. They lived very long. There was the complete absence of chronic disease. So he recorded how all these cultures ate. And he realized that no matter the climate, whether it was far north like the Inuit Alaskans or far down south in the Pacific Islands, he was in Ireland and went to different places in Africa and Europe. No matter where he went to with these different cultures, he noticed that there were some similarities among them. Namely, that they highly prized and revered animal fats in their diet, that they ate organ meats, that they made use of the whole animal. And that's something that's been so lost in today's culture over the past 2 or 3 generations. We've had we don't farm anymore, we don't raise our own animals, so there's been a complete disconnect with the use of some of the ways that they would make use of these animals here. So, what he found out and what he studied over the course of these 7 years, and it really had a major impact on the nutrition community, understanding what we need in our diet, because he found out that animal fat that these cultures would live off of, it was their most prized possession, that we need animal fats in our diet to activate and extract all the nutrients out of plants, at least to the level that's going to be beneficial to our body. So if we're eating a plant-based diet, you may be getting a ton of vitamins and nutrients from those plants. However, many of the minerals and vitamins, like especially vitamin A, D, E, and K, they are fat soluble. You need fat to absorb the vitamins from those plants into your body to use it as a meaningful vitamin and source of nourishment for your body. The fats, the minerals, we need animal fats to be able to extract those things out. So, look, we know vitamin B12 is one, right? That's a big thing for a lot of vegans, is that they don't get enough B12, and that can cause a lot of genetic nervous system disorders, nerve function and muscle function. So that's one thing people can supplement with, right? Well, it doesn't just end at B12. All the fat-soluble vitamins, we need, like I said, animal fats to absorb those, but especially nearly all minerals in our diet too, you need the fats to absorb those as well. Furthermore, and this is one of the biggest things that struck me as I was reading a lot of his work, is that, certain vitamins in plants, let's use vitamin A for example, certain vitamins, when you eat a plant-based source of that vitamin, it's not always in the active state. It's not like an activated form of that vitamin. Vitamin A in plants like carrots is called beta-carotene. It's not the active version of vitamin A called retinol. So the active version, retinol vitamin A, has like innumerable benefits for your body here, from boosting your immune system to neurological function to skin to eye health, reducing inflammation, helping to fight cancer in our body. There's a reason why babies and pregnant mothers, and as part of all prenatal vitamins, they give massive loads of vitamin A because of all the benefit it has for our body. You would have to eat 4 to 5 pounds of carrots to get the same level of vitamin A from one 3-ounce piece of liver from like a grass-fed healthy animal. So the benefits of vitamins in an animal fat or animal protein is that everything in an animal is already in its active form. Your body takes it, uses it, slaps it on itself. It can use it for instant healing and growth and repair of those tissues. When we get it from a plant, sometimes if we don't have good organ function or if it's in the absence of animal fats, you're not going to be able to take that beta-carotene vitamin A and turn that into the retinol vitamin A, which is the necessary form of that you need. So when we combine a balanced plate, when we get the animal fats in and we get the plant-based nutrients in, now we can have the detoxifying and the cleansing effects from eating plants, but also we're absorbing and extracting those nutrients and using them to heal our bodies. So a lot of the things that we're told in modern nutrition today is based upon theory, right? It's never been actually practiced out in the real world of cultures who have lived that way for thousands of years. That's the great benefit of the work that Dr. Weston Price did. Those cultures don't exist anymore today. And when they dissolved and started following Western cultures, they got the same diseases that we did. So, thankfully back then when those cultures still existed, he was able to go live amongst them and record how they lived their lives. And so I believe one of the biggest things missing in our diet today is the absence of healthy amounts of animal fats, raw grass-fed butter, ghee, animal fats like duck fat or chicken fat or beef tallow. Getting some of these fats in that we cook our food, my wife and I, we cook our foods with these things now. And in my own life, it's made a huge difference in regards to my level of health, my digestive function. I'll have a link to a video beneath this where I share some information about our program called GI Revive and how I went through some of the worst months of my life in regards to health with some really significant digestive issues out of the blue in late 2019. And for a little bit of time there, I was doing things on my own, not making a ton of progress, and I worked with some different practitioners just to get a different perspective. Excuse me. And those practitioners, they had me. One of them had me doing a plant-based vegan diet, and for my symptoms, they already weren't good. Once I started doing plant-based, they tanked. I lost a lot of weight. I felt really bad during that time period of doing a plant-based diet, which was only about a month, but I knew after 30 days I can't continue on with this because of how poorly I felt, just joint pain and completely depleted and brain fog. And it's not that plants are good, but I needed something to nourish my body and bring me back to a state of health again, not necessarily continue detoxifying and cleansing. So it wasn't until I took matters in my own hands and I began researching Dr. Weston Price and reading some different books on a carnivore type diet, and that's what changed my health around. Following a keto carnivore type diet completely turned a 180 in regards to a lot of my symptoms, and I began feeling a lot better. So I'm very passionate because of that about getting animal fats and organs into our diet. We do liver now. We do grass-fed beef liver and chicken liver and turkey liver, and we get some of these organs, maybe not to the way that our ancestors used to. I'm not to that level yet. But the fact is that these cultures that Dr. Price studied, that they did just that. They ate high amounts of animal fats. They ate the organ meats. They made use of every part of the animal. And it's something that we're majorly missing today. And when I began incorporating just like a fraction of that in my own diet, it made a huge difference into my health. I was able to put on weight again. My digestive function was restored again. My vitality came back to my body. So, it's something that I haven't left yet. Now, I still do plants, but another thing, and this will be more for another video, is that we don't prepare our plants in the way that our ancestors used to as well. So that's another thing Dr. Price wrote about extensively, is the preparation of these plants, the lacto-fermentation of certain plants into a fermented probiotic type source, the soaking of nuts and grains to inhibit phytic acid and lectins in the skin and the protective mechanisms of some of these plants so that they don't harm and hurt our body. So if we do eat plants, there's absolutely a way to prepare them properly according to ancient customs so that the protective mechanisms of the plants are inhibited and we can extract the most nutrients out of that plant. Let's go over a couple other examples here. So I had a couple patients in my office a few years ago that, maybe close to a year ago, that really gave me a perfect example of the benefit of animal fats and proteins into our diet. So there were two sisters that came to a seminar of mine. Two sisters came in as patients, and they both are obviously raised in the same family. They actually ate a very similar diet growing up. I believe they were in their later or mid-40s whenever I met with them. And they both had a lot of symptoms of really bad neurological function, really bad brain fog, just like the neurological function. They were worried about the long term of this, like Alzheimer's or dementia, because their brain function was so bad. among other things too. But we'll talk about the brain here today. So we had two sisters from the same family, same genetics. The one sister was open to incorporating at least some fish and some bone broth into her diet. They both, for moral reasons and other reasons, didn't want to eat plants or didn't want to eat animals in their diet. So they were all vegan, all vegetarian, no animal fats. The one started incorporating some fish, the other one didn't. Well, the one that did the fish and the bone broth made big gains over her sister in regards to cognitive function and mental improvement. So not only my own story, that story told me in black and white. It showed me a specific clinical example in my own practice that if we start incorporating these animal fats and proteins back in, good things can happen quickly. So the one who did that made better progress. I will give you one example of when plants are the right step and the right thing to do. And that is a story of my brother-in-law, who a year ago, my sister's husband, a little over a year ago, out of the blue, he had a basketball injury playing a game, went to the hospital to get an x-ray of his hand. They ran some blood work there, and they found out that unbeknownst to him, he had significant leukemia levels in his body. So he had a type of leukemia where his white blood cells and his platelet levels were just through the roof. It was shocking, hit us all just like a gut punch. No one expected that because he looks great, looks very healthy, active guy in the Marines, served in the Marines, and so we didn't really expect any of that for him. Well, in his case, in times of cancer or like blood-borne illnesses, that's a time when you should do plants in your diet. So for him, for about a year, we had him on a complete plant-based diet. He did an amazing job, didn't waver from it at all. Switched completely on just a drop of a hat, switched his diet completely and went completely plant-based, organic, properly prepared foods. My sister and him, they carried that out for a year, and his doctors were amazed with his blood markers. So today, and he did a targeted form of chemo with this as well, which is his markers were already doing tremendous before that, but just decided to go that route too, just to hit it from all angles there. And even that route, today, his doctors say that even taking the chemo, for people who don't change their diet, when they take the chemo, that they have to remain on this for the rest of their life. It's something they can never cycle back off of. Today, my brother-in-law doing so good with the diet, his cancer levels show literally nothing. There's a complete absence, no level of cancer at all, no leukemia anymore in his blood. So his body completely healed from that by cleansing and doing a plant-based diet. He's going to be able to transition off of some of these medications now in a way where the doctors say people are never able to do that. So an absolute amazing story. So there are times when a plant-based diet will work for a season, for a period of time. If you've been sick for a while and you're trying to get your body to function better again and improve and cleanse itself, hey, plant-based diets, fasting, those things are all good. But you're not going to fast forever, right? You wouldn't fast and go without food forever, else you would reach a point where it's no longer therapeutic for your body. You would die from that. Same thing with plants, you guys. If we're sick, if we're facing chronic illness, if you're facing something like cancer or leukemia, going through a plant-based diet can cleanse and heal and detoxify your body. In other cases, like in my case, where I'd eaten a pretty good diet for a while. In fact, looking at what my diet was like in the years prior to this, I believe I was not doing enough animal fats and proteins. I believe I was doing too many plants for a long period of time and eating too many lean meats like chicken breasts, without the skin and things on it. Not enough red meat, definitely not enough animal sources of fat in my diet. So there were things I think that set me up, along with, we'll talk about stress in some later videos here, that set me up for some of the issues that I went through. But I believe they go through everything for a reason, and I would have not have researched Dr. Weston Price. I would not have researched some of the things I did that now we're going to share in these videos that help me regain my health again if I didn't have to go through that out of necessity in the shoes of a patient here. So I'm not going to keep rambling on here. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you are plant-based, again, short term, you will get a benefit from that. Look at my brother-in-law. It will cleanse, it will heal your body, it will detoxify you. But then we have to get the right fats in to now take those nutrients from the plants, activate them in a high enough manner to be nourishing for our bodies, let alone the fact that you will get higher levels of vitamins in their activated form to nourish and restore integrity to your body. So we're going to have videos coming up here on the benefits of healthy fats, the vitamins that are found in fats, a lot of Dr. Weston Price's work. If you want to read his work, he's written a couple good books on the subject. But I hope this has been helpful for you. If you want to watch the full webinar, click beneath here. There'll be a link in the description of this video where you can access the whole webinar on GI Revive. So So I thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the like button or to share this video with your friends. We'll have other ones coming out soon. Hope you have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next video.